Okay, STEM friends. Oh my goodness. I think I finally cracked this. Wanting to celebrate the recent landing of Perseverance on Mars and the Ingenuity Copter that's inside, I came up with some really cool flying helicopters. Yes, we've done helicopters before, I know. But these you can throw and they actually come back. And then there's the cool idea of putting a camera on there, so it's a model of what the Ingenuity is doing by flying through the air, taking pictures, and then coming back. This one proved to be difficult. Not too bad, but challenging. I've put it on my website. You're welcome to try it. I hope that you do. It is really fun. But in the short time we have during our STEM class time, I try to simplify it with this one. And the boomerang is definitely simpler, but it still has some tricky parts to it. This one too is on my Bitly Baker STEM Lab website. You're welcome to try it. But for today, we're going to try this simple guy. And it turns out I've come up with some pretty cool differentiations for it. So let's get started. You're going to need one piece of paper. Printer paper is best, but lined paper should also work. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold it hot dog bun style. All you need to do is line up those corners right there, and then pinchy the rest of the way down. And if it gets off, that's okay. You can always adjust it and refold. We're going to open it back up, and now we're going to cut right up the middle. Now you have two strips. You only need one, so we'll save this one for later. And we're going to take this one and again fold it hot dog style. I'm going to look at that top corner up here and line up those corners. Pinchy, and then you just slide it down. All right. Now, while it's folded, like the bun is closed, I'm again gonna take this folded side and fold it over. So we're making some really skinny strips here. Now, this is not origami, so it does not need to be perfect, but it is nice when it's straight. Then we open it back up. And how many strips do we have there? Now, funny thing is we only need 3, but we did it this way to get the right size, and that's great. So we'll have an extra one, and we're just gonna cut these 3. And what I'm gonna do is take the top and the bottom of each of these strips, and I'm going to fold them in half, just like that. All right, I've lined these up as a V and an A and an A. So that's going to help us to remember which goes where. And I've also given the top of the V a 1 and the bottom of this middle one here a 2 and the bottom of this right one a 3. So go ahead and do that with yours. 1 on top, 2 on the bottom middle, and 3 on the bottom right. And then just to make things a little bit weirder, I'm going to put a 4 at the bottom of the 1, okay? Okay, now it's time to put them together. And what I'm going to do is leave the 1 where it is. I'm going to pick it up and leave it where it is. I'm going to pick up the 2, and I'm going to slide the 1, both ends of the 1 together inside of the 2. So I've got 1 inside the 2. I pick up the 2, and with both ends together, I'm going to slide them inside of the 3. I'm going to slide these up a little bit here. So now it looks kind of like a tall H. So now I want to put the 3 through the 4, and I'm going to do both ends of the 3. This is the open end there. And I don't want the top of the 3 to fall off of the 2. So I like to pick it up from the top and then kind of pry the 4 open, slide the 3 in there, and then gently slide that in. And it looks like a mess, but it's going to be cool. Now, I can pull on the 1 and the 2 and the 3. I'm not going to try to touch the 4. So pull on the 1 and pull on the 2, and pull on the 2 and pull on the 3, and pull on the 1 and pull on the 3. You can also kind of push these middle ones together. And what's going to happen is, as it gets tighter and tighter and tighter, it starts to make a bowl. And it just takes some adjusting. And that's it. That's your copter. This is your sky crane. This thing's going to fly really well. Now, if we have had time, then I've given you some string and some tape. And what you're going to do is just open the center a little bit. We're going to poke that string right through the center there and pull it all the way through until almost to the end is there. And now, if I still have my bowl shape, make sure it's still together enough. I'm going to take the tape and just whoop, plop it right on there. Now my sky crane is hanging here. Okay. All right, so one way to test it is the copter by itself. Another bonus, we can tie a pencil to our string and then drop it and see what happens when the copter is attached to the pencil. Will it fall faster or fall slower? We'll have to test it and find out. Pair two pencils. One is tied to the copter and one is not. What do you think is going to happen to these pencils? Is the copter going to have any effect on the drop of a pencil? Let's see. Make your prediction. All right, now 3, 2, 1.